Hello everybody and welcome to Kdh Art Class. Today we're going to be talking about collage. Now collage is when you create an artwork by glue. Obviously, I didn't finish that word. By gluing pieces of paper together. So Eric Carle, James Rizzi, Henry Matisse, just to name a few wonderful collage artists, would take pieces of paper and cut them up and glue them on to create beautiful artworks. Well, not everybody has scissors and glue at home, so we're going to start off with just the idea of it by creating, of all things, a caterpillar, where each section is done differently, similar to cutting and gluing different pieces of paper. I will also have a video on creating, cutting, and gluing your pieces of paper together for those that do have the scissors and glue. So it's fun to kind of do both, because this is kind of preparing you for what would it look like with different patterns and lines, shapes and designs and colors, you know, while you're creating your artwork. So, what do we need today? It's pretty simple. We need a piece of paper, we need something to draw with, and we need something to color with. Alright, you can use any item to color with. You could use markers, color pencils, crayons, paint, whatever you have at your house. So, let's get started. So we're going to start off with, like I said, a very simple shape. For us today, let's make our little caterpillar. And when I do the little caterpillar, I'm going to do, it's kind of like a circle, kind of like an oval, and kind of like a rectangle all at one time. So I like starting with kind of the center of them. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to come out, and I might go down a little bit and connect on one side. And then I'm going to kind of repeat it over here on the other side. Okay, like this. And from there, I just start making them smaller and smaller and smaller, and I might change up their direction. Some of them might drop down and go up, and some of them just might continue down. So I'm going to help you with this side, and like I said, we're going to make it a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller, and this is going to drop down a little bit more. The different sizes just makes all the difference in the world. Okay, and a little bit smaller. Okay. The other side, feel free to do whatever you want your shapes to do. Okay. So I'm going to continue, and maybe this one will go up a little bit. Okay. And up a little bit as it gets smaller and smaller. And however you want your little, like I said, your fun little caterpillar to look like. Now, this is something I would do more with my pre-K, kindergarten, even first grade students, just as a nice little warm-up. It'll work with any student. You can do different Zentangle patterns in each. This is a nice little basic shape to start with. From there, we're going to start making the head, and I'm going to make like a C shape going up. Two little lines going up from there. I'm going to connect them with kind of a circle-y rainbow shape. And that, of course, is one of his little antennas. And then I'm going to continue the head shape And my super smart students have already realized I'm going to repeat the steps. 2 little lines. And yes, of course, that little circular rainbowy shape around it. You guys are so smart. And now all I have to do is complete the shape of the head, which of course is kind of like a circle. Right now it looks like his head's about to fall off. So last but not least, we might add 1 or 2 more little things there. Oh, he's so cute. I love this. Okay, so now have some fun. Put a face on him. You do. With all those new emoji, faces out there, you can pick any of them. You can stylize it any way you want. I'm just going to keep it kind of simple. Maybe I'll do a couple rainbow shapes. You can do the heart emojis. Give him glasses, sunglasses. He could be a bookworm. Okay. I added a little bottom to each rainbow and a little inside to the eyes. I don't think eyes are done until you add eyebrows. They add so much expression. And a mouth. Okay, by now you have all of this white area left over. You can add more caterpillars to it. We know caterpillars start off as a little cocoon and then, eventually evolve into a butterfly. So you can do all kinds of stuff, and how cool would it be to kind of show those different layers, kind of draw a butterfly in the background, overlapping your caterpillar and putting a little cocoon or a chrysalis over here. All the little steps to create. Okay. Or you can just simply start filling in the space with something for him to walk along. And I'm just going to follow his body with a line. It looks like he's on the ground, but wait, there's more. I'm going to start following it, and then, oops, I'm going to drop down. So it's forming what looks almost like the letter Y. For most students at the elementary schools, you know that your teachers will usually teach you to draw trees using the letter Y technique. So once you have this bigger letter Y, then we'll tell you to do a smaller letter Y. Okay. I always put like the V in there. Really makes it stand out. And then if you want, you can even do a smaller letter Y. Add your little V. And you can just keep going and going and going. So my little guy, I might do one more little branch. So I'm going to Y off this way. Have it start going up and down. And I think one more, a little Y. Let's just take it off the paper. It's okay if your artwork falls off the paper. That creates movement. It draws your eye all the way across the paper. So I'm starting over here and I'm going all the way across because my picture goes all the way across. It's not just in the middle. Okay, from there, I'm just going to do kind of these smiley face shapes and connect them to make my leaves. And I'm going to do them on the ends of my little Y shapes here. A smiley face this way, and a smiley face that way. And a smiley face that way. and a smiley face that way, and it's disappearing behind the branch. And here I can do another little Y shape, so I can have a few more little smiley face leaves. Oop, fell off the page. Created more interest. Another little smiley face. And a smiley face. Ah, that's looking better. Still probably need to add a few more. So be creative, but don't put a leaf all the way down. Make sure it's coming to a Y, or you're filling in between where you already have leaves. For example, I can add a smiley face this way and a smiley face that way, and now what happened to the leaf? It looks like it's behind these two, and it looks like it's coming from that Y. I can do another little smiley face this way and a smiley face that way, and now this leaf looks like it's behind this one. I think you guys are smart enough, you're catching on. Smiley face, smiley face. I have another leaf, and I think I'm going to have one kind of popping out from the Y over here. And it looks like it's coming from behind. Okay, we still have some empty area up top, or at least I do. And of course I would come in and I would go ahead and add a little corner of sun. And because it's collage, I need to think about cutting and gluing shapes. So of course, I'm going to be cutting and gluing what looks like squares or rectangles to fit it in there. And I can even do a couple, because I have a Y here, smiley face leaves. Maybe they're falling off the page, just to kind of start filling in the different areas. All right. Oops. I'm now going to close my leaves off because I'm going to treat them like they are pieces of paper. Looks like everything's closed off. Different pieces of paper that I glue on. Just like if I was to cut different pieces of paper to glue on this way. Because remember, collage is when you create an artwork by gluing pieces of paper together. So you would have different shapes of paper, cut them up, and glue them on, creating, again, something like this. But again, we're drawing this one out. One, it could be our plan, and two, it could just be, I don't have scissors and glue to do the activity with, but I do have paper and things to draw with and color with. All right, speaking of which, how much fun can we have now? Let's start getting our colored pencils ready. They don't want to come out of the box. It must be nap time. There we go. I have some colors now. Any colored pencils will work. I've just happened to like these that you don't have to sharpen them, and you can just twist it to keep the tip going. I've just fallen in love with it. But you can use anything out there. All I care about is, are you working on your art? Okay, so let's think about, of course, usually with the sun, you would want to pick a bright colored paper. So I am thinking my sun would probably have, I'm going to do spirals. Remember, a spiral is a little circle that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and oop, I hit the wall. I need to find a new spot, do a new spiral. making it bigger and bigger. And of course you can do anything you want. You can do polka dots, you can do stripes, you can do broken lines, zigzag lines, smiley faces, anything you want. It'll just depend on what kind of paper you would have. Now what's neat about colored pencils and crayons is you can mix and match them, and they can go on top of each other. So now it looks like I had a yellow piece of paper with a neat little reddish orange spirally design that I cut and glued into the corner. And maybe on this next one, I think I'm going to do nice big stripes. Notice I went with my crayon. It's thicker than a color pencil, so I don't have to draw as much. Not that I don't mind drawing, it's just, hey, it's faster. And let's change it up. Ooh, let's throw a pink in there. Believe it or not, pink is a fire color. It is because you need the color red, which is one of those warm fire colors, and white to create it. Because red is a fire color and white is neither a fire color nor a cool color. It just makes it white, makes it light. I always try and throw these little bits out because you never know what kids are listening to and what they catch on to. So, love all throwing that kind of stuff out there. All right, my sun is done. Now I can start working on my caterpillar, and I love doing different colors for each one of those little sections. And what's really cool is if you make a real collage and then you draw it later, you're working on so many different art skills. It's amazing. Yep, I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and make a cool design here. And then I'm going to crisscross it and go in the other direction. And it makes those rhombus, or what I like to call diamond shapes, in the pattern. And again, grab a crayon or something else, and you can even go on top of it with another colored pencil. I love it when my kids experiment. Sorry, I should say my students, but they're my children. I see them for, you know, an hour at a time, sometimes more. I see them throughout the day. I feel like a grandmother to them. I'm a little too old to be their mom, but shh, we won't say that. There we go. And then let's change up the colors. See, since I did fiery colors there, I think this next one I'm going to do cool colors, if I can get my colors to come out. And how fun would it be to put polka dots next to stripes? Again, anything that kind of changes it up. And see, I can go right on top when I color nice and dark. And it changes the color of it a little bit, which is part of the fun. But it's also a nice, easy way to kind of fill it in. And just keep going. Yeah, let's pick another one. I can get these things to actually come out. What do we got here? Ooh, we got kind of a brown. Brown just inspires me to, well, I think I'm just going to do maybe a curved line, rainbowy, maybe letter C. I'm tricking you. I'm making you do a curved line. When you do a curved line, it's going to make that branch look three-dimensional. These are cross contour lines. And because I didn't break my branch up into smaller sections, I'm going to continue this little pattern. But you can do whatever you want. There we go. As we get to smaller things, I can go a little bit faster. And again, you do not have to copy what I'm doing. You can create your own. I know there's some kids out there that are worried that theirs won't look beautiful. Guys, there is no wrong way of doing art. Everybody's stuff looks beautiful. Yes, we're our worst critics. We're the ones that look there and say, hey, that doesn't look right. Or that wasn't what I envisioned. And that's okay. When you're young, believe it or not, people like it to not look normal. They actually will pay more money to have it look different. Otherwise, they'd just pull out their smartphones and take a photo. Alright, moving on. Let's go ahead and, ooh, orange. Fun. I can do stripes that are going up and down on this one. I might even just color them in. There we go. Nice and simple. Changing colors. I did some blue and green combinations. Maybe I can do a nice purpley one. And maybe I'll just do some lines, little broken lines. These are fun little patterns. Patterns is when you do something again and again and again. And I just realized we can zoom this in a little bit. You can see a little bit better. There we go. Of course, as soon as I zoom it in, then I need to focus it a little bit more. There. Okay. Sorry about that. I am a teacher after all. I don't have a whole lot of money for the super fancy stuff. I'm gonna make some lines go the other way with another color. In fact, I like this color so much. Maybe I'll do something here, and I'm just gonna go crazy wiggly lines everywhere. Believe it or not, I learned this from a student of mine. I believe she was in 3rd grade. And she just did that to fill in different areas, and I was just loving it. Maybe I'll do it over here if my pencil will stay out. Goodness gracious. And for the face, I think I'm just going to color you in. This lovely red violet. Slow down and stay in your lines. I know I'm going a little bit fast, but I've had just a little bit more practice than you. I like this color. Let's do some polka dots over here. It's not much of a polka dot. There we go. And change it up. Maybe do some bigger ones, some smaller ones, some that are falling off. There we go. Now we're getting all fancy. Let's see, I haven't done a candy cane stripe yet, or at least that's what I call it when you color in a thick stripe at a diagonal, followed by leaving one and then coloring another one. Ooh, Ooh, that would make great, actually, I like that color for my leaves. I think I'll do kind of a skinnier candy cane stripe on one of my leaves. Might as well have it. Oh, and then over here, maybe I could do kind of a, ooh, I haven't done checkerboard. It's lines going up and down, followed by lines going across. Now keep in mind, when you're watching the video, you can always pause it. And then you can color in one, skip, color in one, skip, color in one. And then you do the opposite. Which one is at the corner of it? Skip the one that's under it. Color the one in between. Skip the one that's under it. Color the one that's in between. Skip the next one. Don't color under it. Color on the sides. Alright guys, I'm having just, I think, a little too much fun doing this. And I'm using up a lot of your creative time. Keep going. Keep decorating. Fill in all your little sections and enjoy your drawing of a collage. Have a great day and tune in for some more Kdh Art Class lessons. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.